the deadliest fighting force in all of Asia. The Immortals.
Yo.
This is real. This is it.
Yes, this is
Regian.
real. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You hit the barbershop earlier, I see. Looking fresh.
Yes.
Very nice, my man. Oh, that's awesome. So how's the day? How's that win? How does it feel to absolutely just silence that stadium?
Yeah, I feel pretty good, man. The fight day,
Yeah.
I just visualize, how I would win and how I would KO him. Not specifically on the body shot, but just like any way to KO him, and it happened, And, yeah, it's like a dream come true, Silence the whole Lumpinee Stadium.
Right before it too, he missed a big shot, and you hit him with you missed by a mile, bro.
Yes.
And even right before that, I saw you. You had him against the ropes, and you kind of feinted that left body hook. Like it was like 30 seconds or maybe a minute before the finish, but you had him right there, and it almost looked like you were gonna throw it, and you probably could have landed it there, but you waited. And then obviously landed it perfectly to get that KO. And man, like watching over here, I think it was about 8 a.m. I screamed, man. I couldn't believe it, man. So that was beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Yeah. One championship, when I talk about it out here, surprisingly, us only like the real fight fans know about it, And obviously, like people that watch some UFC and MMA, which it's massive out here and blowing up. But when I talk about one championship, I'm like, hey, did you see that incredible fight? Like,
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you guys got to know, because this level is something completely different. The pace that's being put on. It's funny when you watch UFC. You hear the commentators. They'll say, Alex Volkanovski's taking a round off and he's just gonna wrestle. You can't take a round off, my good sir.
Nope, cannot do that.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that, first of all, I was just rewatching that beautiful Rocky like head kick knockout of Smoking Joe.
Yeah.
That's like a one in a million lifetime thing right there, to get the 1 minute left, last round KO. I'm sure you've talked about this many times, but I need to bring it up for people that aren't aware. Because Leon Edwards, are you familiar with him?
Yeah, of course.
Rocky, right? Yeah, brilliant fight. What were your thoughts on his performance against Usman recently?
The second fight, I didn't see the second fight. I saw only the highlights.
Yeah.
But it was a split decision on controversial decision, I think. And from the highlights, it was pretty close fight, but he did good. He did good from what I saw,
Yeah, he did.
But yeah.
And Leon, with that, that moment that shook the world, you had that moment. You had that exact same moment against a legend, and these Muay Thai guys, they don't back down to anything. They're made of granite, as you are with your Dutch guard. It's impenetrable. You don't even show, your emotion in there. When I look at you, like I'll stop the fight sometimes and go frame by frame to watch.
Yeah.
It's like watching the most calculated, patient killer.
That's a good one. Yes, you have to have patience. You have have to search for a pattern, in his guard, and picking your shots, and to look where just to wait for the right moment, and then you have to have patience. You cannot rush into it, otherwise you make also mistakes. So yeah,
You
it's
must
like
be
a
the
chess
most
game. It sounds maybe weird, but it's like a chess game also.
at the highest level with
Yeah,
micro milliseconds going, and it's your patience, the precision and the power, and obviously with 21 fights again. Congratulations, sir. Like 21, that it's 7 years unbeaten. Like,
maybe.
oh man. So here, um, 60 wins, 4 losses, 4 kickboxing title defenses. Your most recent fight being your Muay Thai title defense.
Yeah.
You have the record of someone that's, you're obviously going to be a legend remembered forever in the sport. But are you trying to hit like the hundreds? Are you trying to you want like 20 title defenses? Like what's your goal?
My personal goal is to defend my kickboxing belt 10 times with success, of course. And if it can be more, then it will be more. But that's my personal goal. Just to accomplish the number 10. For the Muay Thai belt, I didn't have a goal because the Muay Thai belt just came on my path. They just offered me like six months ago to fight Sinsamut.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm gonna say yes. This is the fight that was won for my legacy. I won the belt. It was split decision, and then 5 months, 6 months later, they asked me to do a rematch. In the beginning, I was like, why a rematch? I already proved that I'm the better fighter. But to silence the let me say the haters, the people that hesitate. Then I was like, yeah, why not? I in my life I'll give him a chance, and it's for me also a chance to show everybody that I'm the better fighter. So.
And you truly did that, standing up on the ropes with that, man. Like people
Yeah.
try to pay for a high for drugs, or they try and pay for like a moment like that, and $1 billion could not pay for that moment, man. That's
Yeah.
years of that's every millisecond of training, everything, every moment that's happened since you're born led up to that time. And when you stood up on that, like I'm shaking. I got tingles, especially from how recent this was, man. And I know I'm just a fan, and my opinion, especially not as a fighter, but as a fight fan and someone that watches hundreds of fights and really truly appreciates martial arts. I really, really like, it's so heartfelt, man. And you can see we don't see the training that's put into it. There was a guy, he came into the gym, it looked like, and I think he was combat, let's see here, content combat. And he came in to talk with you.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and he starts off and he uses your audio of you saying, "How bad do you want it? How bad do you
yeah,
want it?" Right? You've seen this, you obviously know. Um, and at the end, you talked about there was a couple of guys. There's 4 guys that beat you up one day when you were a younger guy,
yeah, yeah.
and you didn't get a
Yeah.
chance to get up. You got up and you said you wanted to beat them up.
Yes, yes.
And again, like I said, from my opinion, just being this, I'm not someone, you just met me through this screen, but I got to tell
Yeah.
you, man, like my first thought was you beat the shit out of those guys every single day by being the champion that you are. You truly do.
Yes, I know. But these guy, I want to thank them, because um with that experience made me also stronger, and yeah, it made me who I am today, So from certain things in life, you only can learn, So yeah, maybe at that moment not, because the moment will be like painful or stressful. But if you think back at it, you think like, okay, how can I avoid these moments, and then you could start thinking like, okay, what can I do better to avoid these moments, or to never let it happen again, So yeah, sometimes you needed these moments in life to think about it, you know. So,
It's
yeah.
like in Batman. It's funny, Batman's father. I think when Batman's a kid, he falls into the hole and he says, it's not how we fall, it's how we get up. And how
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got up, it culminated
That's
into a beautiful. It is a beautiful career, sir. So yeah.
thanks.
Um, do you keep up with Charles Oliveira at all, or any of those folks on that end?
Yeah, a little bit, He lost his belt
He did,
against
yeah.
against
They
Islam, I
Yeah,
think.
well, it was weird. So they stripped him because of the scale. The scale was
Yeah,
apparently tampered, right? And they stripped him.
true. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
this kind of forced an Islam fight because he would have had a different fight if that wasn't the case. But when I watch you march towards guys with your guard, with your knees, how you lock on, how you aim, how you fire, um, you know, but prior to one championship, Charles Oliveira was one of my main guys, and you
Yeah,
fight. I don't want to compare too much, and you obviously there's different levels, but very similar to Charles Oliveira in how effortlessly those flying knees come up. I wanna. There's a combination that you did on um, Mustafa Hayda.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
an awesome fight. And I slowed this down probably a dozen, maybe 2 dozen times frame by frame just to watch this one picture perfect combo that you threw. Do you mind if I read just the
Yeah,
strikes that you threw?
of
Because they
course.
slowed it down into slow motion. And in slow mo, it was 10 seconds. And what you
Yeah,
It's a right jab, right head kick, jumping right knee, left head kick, right straight to the face, left body hook, right body uppercut, clinch, break, and then jumping knee. And in slow motion, that took 10 seconds. In real time, it was probably 5 seconds, maybe 6 seconds maximum. All of
yeah.
those shots, man, they look like it would put a guy like myself in the hospital. Um, the toughness in there that you guys display is insane. Like, do you ever sustain any injuries in the forearms for your guard? Do you ever sustain any injuries, any bone issues or anything like that?
No, not really. Sometimes from the kick, they feel a little like bros, you know, but it's not like that I have like big injuries on my arms. No, never. Only like little bruises, but that's it.
You're
That's it.
truly made of
You
stone.
know, the kicks do more damage to your arms than the punches, eh?
The kicks do
Because
more damage, yeah,
punches in kickboxing, you have the glove, the tennis glove, so you have a
of
pillow
course,
on your knuckle, you know.
of
So the
course.
punches really do like much damage, but the kicks, because the shin have no protection, so it's just a bone coming into your muscle, you know. So the kicks are more painful than the punches.
Have you ever witnessed any leg snaps like the Chris Weidman or Anderson Silva snaps inside the ring?
No,
That's good.
never saw leg snaps, but I saw two times the arm popped, you know, like break like. So yeah, that's it's weird to see that, but it's part of the game, you know. It's part of fighting.
Oh, 100%.
So,
Um,
yeah.
you said you're mostly on the road when you're fighting. You're usually out of town. If you
Yes, yeah.
were to fight, would you like to fight in Suriname or would you rather fight in the Netherlands?
No, I prefer to fight in Suriname. I fought twice in Suriname. Um, but yeah, I prefer to fight in Suriname than the Netherlands.
Hmm.
Um, because I like to travel, of course, and in Suriname is my home country, and you know, nice weather,
Oh
good
yeah.
food, people.
Oh,
So
it looks beautiful. Truly looks beautiful. Do you think that Kshatriya would bring a one championship event down there one day?
I hope so. I hope
Especially
so.
with you as champ, man. You got to use that status, and just
Yeah,
go, hey, man. Like next time you see him, kind of like really budge into him without anyone seeing. Like, hey.
yeah, I hope so. They're doing shows. They're gonna do their first show in America now, so the opportunity is there, you know. So
I saw
yeah,
that
maybe in the future.
100%. When are you looking to fight again?
I think maybe 3 4 months from now.
That's crazy. That's your pace. The pace of the fighters in your organization. and in Muay Thai and kickboxing in general, is something that we're not used to on this end. You know,
True.
you're on a 21 fight tear through 7 years. Conor
Yes.
McGregor only fought 14 times, lost or 13 or 14 times, lost 4 of those in his
Yeah.
8 years inside the UFC.
Yeah.
Like there's levels to this. Now, yeah, there's that following, but the skill now 170. If he was to come in there at 170 with you, there would be no comparison. You know, obviously his boxing is very good. And he's an incredible, highly elite striker. But your pace and
Yeah.
even your size when you walk in there, you know, you're a big 170,
Yes, yes, I know, and a tall one. So
a tall 170 too. But there was one thing that guys like Brad Riddell, Sadakovich, who else? There was another guy. They came in. Oh, Sinsamut as well. They came in just looking wide. They came in looking like a fridge.
yes,
How was your debut with Riddell?
my debut to the it was my first time fighting for one championship.
Mhm.
I was a little bit nervous, of course. It was in the Philippines, and it was in a big stadium. It was sold out. 16,000 people were inside. So for me, it was the first time that I was fighting in such a big stadium, and the energy was like crazy, man. When I came in the arena, you know, they gave everybody lights on the wrist, you know, so you saw all the lights waving,
Oh, like
and
a U2 concert, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And you know, I had the mask on, and the
Oh,
people were, you know. So yeah, the fight with Riddell went not uh, according to my game plan. He did really good, kept his distance, you know. He was
body
very
hooks.
yes, he was very fast. He went in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. But in the second round, I like um start to see his pace, you know, in, out, in, out. So I just waited as usual, and then I punch him in the liver, and I give him the 8 count, and start a little bit with more pressure, and I won the fight on points.
Well,
So
yeah,
yeah,
and that the punch to the liver, but you followed it up instantly with a flying knee that he blocked. But
yes, yeah,
that I'm sure going into the liver too, like, like there was maybe a 1 in 1,000 chance he would have maybe survived that shot. I just watched his fight analysis on it last night, and
yeah,
he said that obviously he said you're an incredible opponent, incredibly tough, so hard to break your guard, and you
yeah,
know his plan from Eugene, his coach, who was brilliant, obviously was to go in, and Eugene wanted him to throw a double low kicks as opposed to just throwing one at a time, which he couldn't get off.
yeah.
And obviously once you downed him with that you know soul shattering liver shot, there's nothing really more besides just wanting to get back at you, and you can't really continue your game plan once you've been put down, I'm assuming.
Yes, because your body is in pain.
So Smoke and Joe, 2 week notice.
Yes, yes.
You're
You know
crazy.
what the funny thing is? I had a fight scheduled in China, you know, on 80 kilos. So I was like not losing weight, you know. My weight was on 80 kilos already. Then my manager calls me. He said, "Hey, I have a fight for you in America, but is the week before the fight in China." I said, "Okay. Who's the opponent?" He said, "Yeah, it's the champion of Lion Fight." I said, "Okay, that's good." The money was good, so I was like, "Okay, if I beat the champion, you know, if I beat the champion, then I have like an entrance, you know, in the organization." So we say, okay, we take the fight, you know, and we have to look. I tell the Chinese organization if the injuries are too bad, we cancel the fight. Then I was like, okay, let's do it. They said the only problem is the fight is on 72 kilos, so you have to lose 8 kilos. Yeah. So I don't know how I did it, but I managed to get my weight down to 72. I fought five, fought 5 rounds, hard rounds.
You got hit too. you
Yes,
got hit with some clean shots from him, and cutting that weight, that really affects your jaw, I assume.
yes. But he didn't punch that hard. But either way, it was a hard fight. He kicks really hard. He kicks very hard, and I knew in the last round, I knew like I did too less to win from a champion. You know, especially he fight at his home turf. You know, and he's a champion of the organization. So I did I did a little bit less to beat him. So I knew I had to do something special. You know, in the fifth round.
Oh yeah, the judges, even if you had it 3-2, honest, like the rounds without anything spectacular. Let's say you clearly took 3 rounds. With
Yeah.
how judging goes, that may have even just been given to him because they do want to see someone like truly rip the belt off of a champion when they
Yeah.
are winning.
Exactly. So the fun thing was that in the first round, I did he gave me a left kick. I blocked it and I faked the right punch and I countered with the right high kick. But the right
Mhm.
high kick was too low, so it came on his chest. So I
Right by the
knew
jugular. Yeah, the announcers were talking about that. Yeah.
yes, on his throat, like his chest, like here. So I knew like, okay, if you do the same kick and I block the same, and I fake the right punch, I just have to aim a little bit higher, you know. And in the fifth round, um, I do the movement with my right hand, and I saw his head movement was to the left side, So I knew, okay, if he kicks again, I fake the right punch because his head's moved to the left without keeping his guard high. So he just dodged the punch, and his hands were like to the right side, so his gear was open. So he kicks me in the body with the left kick. I counter with the right, but I faked the right, so he had moved to the left, and I the right kick to the head, and
Boink.
I already knew when I threw the head kick. I even didn't touch him yet. I already knew like, okay,
You
he's
felt
going
the
to.
weight, the momentum of it, the lineup. It's like shooting a three and just keeping your arm open, walking away, knowing that you got it. That
Exactly.
the sweat that like just came spattering. It was like a movie knockout.
Yes, it's like a knockout, like in a movie. So
100%.
I just turned around, even didn't look at him. I just walked to the new corner,
You're
and I
cold, the immortal. That's why, man.
already knew. So yeah.
Um, when you're in there and you hear, because this is something that's not done in other fighting organizations, the announcer in the arena, it'll say 30 seconds left in the round or 30 seconds remaining in
Yeah,
the final round. Now, I know
yeah,
in each round you'll get the clap for 10 seconds. Um,
yes.
and sometimes that'll turn on a switch to like, hey, I got to do something. But when
Mm.
I know you need to stay calm. And so is it really hard to control how your heart jumps when those moments happening or like anxiety, that kind of thing? Do you get that when you hear those? You've been great for 4 or 5 rounds, you hear it's the last 30 seconds, you know the other guy's gonna turn it on to you for the last 30 seconds. Does that announcement ever cause you any fear or worry, or are you just so tuned in?
No, that announcement in the last round, and I know I'm winning the fight. Is like I have to be extra sharp,
Mm,
because uh, of course he heard it also, the last 30 seconds, and he
mm,
know he's behind on points, so that has to keep me extra sharp because he gonna do crazy things, just to inflict damage to me. So I have to be like extra sharp, but most of the time they don't do that
yeah.
because his most of the time how do you say, it's my pace they are fighting. So yeah.
It's truly the majority of the fights. It really the narrative, the story of each of your fights seems to just be you walking them down, you controlling pace. The only guy that really obviously gave you issues, and obviously your only knockdown was Sadakovic.
Yeah, yeah, true.
And he's a tough guy, man. That guy, that fight was crazy. He had really good movement. That obviously that knee, that can happen. You know, just the way how he did. You land the same jumping switch knees, so obviously hats off to him.
Yeah,
Um, but again,
yeah,
it's how you come back. You came back and won that fight.
yeah, yeah, he did good. He did very good. I didn't saw the knee coming. To tell you honestly.
Right on the nose too, eh? Did that break it?
No, it was my how do you say this bone here,
Okay, okay, yeah.
but it didn't break. So
Cheekbone, yeah.
I went down, and the referee was at count three.
Hmm.
Then I get up in one knee, and in my brain I was like, okay, everything is still good. I have no pain anywhere. So now I just have to stand up, and if my legs are not shaking, I'm good, you know. So he was at 5, 6. I stood up. I'm like in my brain, like, okay, I'm not wobbling. Everything is okay. He was 7, 8. I'm like, okay, I'm okay, so I can go, you know.
Hmm.
So he was coming, you know, put the pressure because he just gave me 8 counts. I'm just like, okay, I have to survive the 20 seconds because he would came rushing, you know. And then he was out of breath, and then it was my turn, you know. And I
Yeah,
did
it
like
was.
in the second round, I think. And the next rounds after, I was just putting the pressure,
Yeah,
making points,
insane
doing.
pressure. You punished him for putting you down, man. You could tell that. You could tell
Yes, yeah.
the punishment.
But in my head, I was like, I have to show everyone, like, you know, that, you know, I have to overcome this. You know, the 8 count was nothing for me.
Well, and yeah, your title's on the line. You know, that's you're dropped, so you're obviously, you know, that's gonna, you know, you're thinking you're gonna lose the title if I don't get this guy
Yeah,
back. So,
yes, exactly. So at the end, I was like a little bit hesitating because in my mind, I was like, did I do enough to win? You know, because he has 8 count. You know,
mhm.
thinking like, I hope I did enough. You know, and you know, in my brain, your brain started to hesitate, like, did I do enough? And then I got the win, but I was not like, okay. Then I was like, I have to rewatch the fight. You know? And when I rewatched the fight, I was like, okay, yes, I did surely enough to win the fight. So
Well, when things happen like the split decision with Murtazaev, that
yeah,
that can be tricky, man. Like the Murtazaev fight, you clearly won. There shouldn't have been a split decision there.
yeah, yeah. I thought also like the isn't a split decision, but you know, it's a sport, and the judges decide if it's end, you know, after 3 or 5 rounds. So
Hmm.
cannot do anything about it, you know. So
I could see on your face too when they announced the that it was split that you were like, "There's no way." Like, you just see it. There's like there is no way. So,
yeah, yeah, true.
oh man. I just got a couple more questions here, and I'll let you go here, my champ. Thank you again. Thank you so much for doing this, sir.
Yeah.
It really shows just like you're truly a humble champion. You're truly a humble man. You know, it's very special, and this means the world to me. Um, 234 strikes a match is your average. I heard Mitch Chilson say that you're the fast striker in one in any division in any weight class.
Yes, I heard it also.
That should be a belt in itself too, man. You're the triple champ now.
Yeah, work. Have to work.
How bad do
Put
you want it, eh?
how
That's what you say.
yeah, how bad do you want it?
It's truly that because everyone can throw those extra strikes. Everyone can make those extra moves. It's how can you put that arm up again to defend quickly after throwing your jab? Can you do that consistently, which you've done, which you show and prove? It's you're like Canelo Alvarez in boxing. When you
Uh,
fought, let's see who it was. I think it was, yeah, it was Nikki Holskin.
yeah,
So I watched Triple G and Canelo fight a couple days ago, and they do this beautiful thing, and it's like bulls where they go at each other and they press the heads forward. and they'll pull out and throw uppercuts, or they'll come out and they'll throw a hook or something. You did that to Nikki at Holston, and when I saw your heads collide and you pressed, I knew something brilliant was going to happen, and you hit him with a knee. You pulled the knee in.
Yeah.
And that's something that's obviously in boxing they do that and they feel a little safe. You can't do that in your sport, man. Like these guys, they try and compare combat sports, and again, I have to praise you guys for it doesn't seem to be safe anywhere. Without having to slip or anything, like any space inside the pocket, far range, it's all kill shots.
Yep. But yeah, you have to train it, because some fighters are like specialized in only certain moves. Like one fighter is specialized in working the distance, but if you go close, you cannot fight, because he's not used to it. But my trainer, he trains me to fight in every situation. Can fight long distance, can fight close distance. I imagine I have an injury in my left leg, I go southpaw, stuff like that. You have to what do you say?
Adapt
on the situation. Yes, adapt. Yes, I'm searching for that word. Yes,
no
adapt.
worries.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. That's smart. Yeah, tying a hand behind your back and just practicing with one arm. There was Merab Devashvili. He just fought Peter Yan recently. Do you recognize those names?
Yeah, Peter Yan. I know. He lost the fight at Peter Yan.
He did. Merab put the pressure on him, man. That Georgian is incredible. Merab actually suffered. His hand was the size of a grapefruit 2 weeks before his fight. And in his camp, he was practicing with he was throwing jabs, throwing hooks, and he would just throw the right elbow, but still block.
Yeah.
His hand was still severely injured going into that fight. Didn't bitch, didn't complain, didn't nothing. Threw the glove on, didn't say anything after the fight. Maybe he did. I can't even recall, because usually if someone's injured and they win or lose, they make that, I was injured in my camp, I was injured in my fight, and he didn't even speak on that, beating Peter Yan. So overcoming those injuries during camps and doing that and training to adapt, if those injuries happen, is obviously that's why you're the champ. Sorry.
Thanks.
Of course. One more thing, the cornering in Muay Thai and kickboxing.
Yeah.
Very calm, very, very calm. No theatrics. No. Okay, Regian, need to take 10 seconds and let's get a breath in. Like, it's just that's usually how it is for cornering on TV when you see in UFC. And on this, it's just right to the point, very direct, very calm, and it's nice. Because usually when I see that big movements to a fighter who's just been getting punched and striking back, you want to be calm. You want to have someone that's watching and is making sure that they're watching every single movement for you.
True. I prefer also that way, to be calm in the corner, because in my head I have to stay also calm, and if somebody's gonna yell like, it doesn't work for me. I'm gonna close that person off like this.
and that's your coach, right? That's your team. It should be someone that's coming in with you, being in there, because you don't want to be putting up because first of all, you want to put up a wall of defense against your opponent. You don't want to be putting up a wall of shut up, coach.
Exactly. Yes.
So,
but yeah, also the bond that you built in these years, So I had also fights that he was yelling because I did bad, but that's only when I do bad, And I know if he starts yelling at me in the corner while I'm in between rounds, I know I'm doing not good, So, but I know, like, I don't like that he's yelling, so I have to do good.
I've been cooking for a little bit. It's the same in the kitchen. When your chef starts screaming at you, it's time to pick it up. But when it's someone you respect and they're screaming with passion and they're also screaming actual directions at you, you do take it in. It is easier to take in than someone just barking.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it's way much easier. And what it also make it easier is you do those things and you see that those things works, you know, then you also start believing in the person, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's why they're your coach, obviously. Yeah, to have that or to have that martial arts mind, to see gaps in people's games, to see where you can improve, and even having the welcoming of my fighter, my pupil can still get better, even though he's at the top of the game already. There's always places to improve.
Exactly.
I'll ask you one more question, and then I'll let you go if that's all right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's all
I would love to know your cardio regimen, sir.
right. It's not that special, my cardio. I run like 3-4 times a week, 5 6 kilometers. And I do swim training with
Swim
like,
training.
yeah, like with swim trainer that is like specialized,
Okay.
you know. And I think the swim training really helps me also to regular like control my breath during the fight also, and uh, yeah, to keep up with the cardio, you know, because sometimes you have like these assignments in the training, like you go underwater and he put like, for example, he put like a red circle, black circle, blue circle, green circle. Then he said, okay, first you have to swim underwater to the red circle, then touch the blue, then touch the black, and then touch the green, you know.
Mm.
You know, you have to hold your breath all the time, you know. And he said on the water you have to uh, uh, breathe out little bit, little bit till you get the last one. So that helps me also, you know.
You can see it, your lung capacity, watching your opponents. They're sitting on the stool, and even like you can see them like full gasping for trying to catch every breath. And I, even after doing intense cardio, I know sometimes the face goes numb, the nose goes numb, the roof of the mouth goes numb and tingling, and you can see it in their faces. And you're just standing there. There's videos on YouTube, obviously, of murderers just standing there in between rounds, like no breathing. It's incredible.
like that, nothing, I did nothing, you know.
Well,
Yeah. So
champ, the it says I have less than a minute here, so I'll wrap it up.
yeah.
When you come to North America for a fight, I'm definitely making sure I have to be there. I'll do everything in my power. I'll drop everything to be there and come watch and come write and report and just make sure that this is being blown up, because you deserve every single eye watching your performances, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe we could chat again soon in the future before your next fight.
Yeah, of course. Just send me a message.
Will do, man.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes,
Regian, the Immortal Eersel, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Champ.
Till next time.
Yes, until next time. See you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, brother. You too.
Yeah.